What is going on, guys? It is your boy Cali Mac on the track. Never whack, bring it back. And we are back with Strawhat Sitdown, episode 74.
Woo!
Love to see it. You love to see it. You know, it would have been sick if we hit the 75 for the Gear 5.
That's true.
You know, that is what it is. It'd be like that.
That's true. We were close. We were close.
I'm here with the crew as usual, man. Strawhat in the building. What's going on, brother?
What is good, y'all? This chapter was amazing. Last night was amazing. Everything was amazing. So I'm ready to talk about everything.
Peak time to be a One Piece fan. Peak time indeed. Right. Mr. G in the building. What's going on, brother?
What's good, y'all? Yo, man, that episode was absolutely beautiful. Decked out with, that Gear 5 shirt. Shit. We got the Gear 5 pin. I know you guys already saw that shit.
Nigga, that shit is so hard, bro.
That shirt is fire. Wow.
We got the volume 103, first appearance of Gear 5, shit.
My man, everything.
Hey.
Yeah, and then obviously the Nika tattoo, obviously the moon one. But man, I was ready, bro. That shit was beautiful. I can't wait, man. I can't wait to talk more about it.
Yeah, we definitely gonna get into it. No DT this week. He had to handle his business. Chopper pictures there as always. You know the vibes.
Yes,
always gonna hold us down. YHuss, last but not least, of course, that brother in the building. What is going on, man?
I'm chilling, man. Amazing weekend. Everything is now Evo, because we're on fighting games, and obviously Gear 5, and then an amazing chapter, bro. Yeah. What a time to be alive.
I said it off camera before we started, but I need this One Piece fighter. I need it like I need to breathe. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Facts.
And I'm putting it in the air at the beginning of the announcement at Evo. I'm putting the energy in the air. I know it's a little out there, right? A little impossible, but anything's possible if you believe. And I believe. You feel me? You gotta put that energy in there to receive it. You know what I mean?
Of course, yo, shit.
Everybody send Cali your
You feel
spirit.
me? Give me the spirit energy. You feel me? Hands in the air. You know what I'm saying? Come on now.
Bro, just like we learned about Gear 5 in the anime, right? It's a imagination. We can imagine it, bro. That's gonna make that shit possible, bro.
Stay woke. You feel me?
Dang.
Speaking of the episode, as you guys probably know, if you don't know, you probably live under a rock. As most of you guys know, the anime debuted Gear 5 last night. Full episode. It was the adaptation of I feel like I know the number off my head. Chapter 1044, I want to say. Yeah, okay, you know what? Y'all couldn't see it, but I was looking at YHuss after I said that, bro, for the confirmation. I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. I was praying YHuss was going.
I was thinking. I was like, yo, did he get it? I think you got it. Let's just say you got it.
Okay, but yeah.
I got the volume right here. I'm gonna find out.
You love to see it. Yo, the fact check on saying.
You got it. I think you got it, though, Kelly.
But yeah, the adaptation of Gear 5 in the anime.
Yo, Cal, you got it, bro. You got it, bro.
Yeah, 1044. What are you talking about?
Yeah, baby. 1044, Warrior Liberation.
What are you talking about? We out here.
Let's get it.
What you guys think, man? Let's talk about it. Let's break it down. How y'all feeling about it?
Man, so this whole time, right? If you were paying attention to One Piece Twitter and stuff like that, we were getting a bunch of different rumors, some confirmations on who was working on it. We even heard at one point that there was going to be a Warner Brothers animator teaming up.
Joining, yeah.
Now that ended up not being true, but they brought in some legendary ass animators to the episode. I was seeing a breakdown. They were bringing in I forgot his name, but this dude was helping with Space Dandy, helped with mass other different projects. I think at one point it was either Cowboy Bebop or Yu Hakusho. I don't remember, but it was a bunch. The person who did episode 1000, probably arguably the greatest, not just One Piece episode of all time, but one of the best episodes animated in anime history, period. Brought that in. It was, the list is kind of insane. But point is that they lived up to the hype. It was amazing. It was like it was so much going on that it was kind of hard to see. So I had to like go back to see all the like extra details and stuff from the first time around.
Yeah.
It was like Warner Brothers and the anime genre did a fusion dance. Like,
no, it was mad sick. The way that it fluidly switched between like, and there was a point. I think it was like immediately after Kaido or Luffy grabbed Kaido out from the live floor or whatever, and pulled him onto the rooftop, and like you could almost like see the transition from like anime to like this hybrid of anime and cartoon. It was I've never seen anything like that before. I have to give my hats off to the animation, every animator, the whole team that worked on that. That is just the animation in itself is definitely a feat worth recognizing because it's something I have honestly never seen before.
Not just that, Kelly, but also that Kaido was a 3D animation too. So it was like, you know, like it was multiple forms of animation just at once. Are you talking
about like the CGI before he got grabbed?
The CGI, like that's what I meant. Like it was the CGI Kaido, you know. So like the fact that like we had like so many forms of animation going on at once, bro. Like it was done beautifully. Seeing Luffy get buffed, like looking like Hercules a little bit, you know, very Disney-ish. I like just everything about it was what I loved. Just a few gripes though, like the reused animation.
See, I was waiting to see if y'all was gonna really just hype it up blindly the whole time, or if we were gonna really get into you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, I mean, like, I loved it. I love the fact that it did break the internet because Crunchyroll, it was not working for like fucking like 40 minutes or so, because that shit did not come out at 10.
Yo, I'm gonna be honest with you. Bro. I was on that bitch at 10:01. Watching that
shit was working for you. That shit was working for you, yo. But that shit wasn't working. Like that shit.
I saw a lot of people. Yeah, I saw a lot of people saying that it wasn't working for them. I just know I was on that shit at 10:01.
You got lucky. You one of the few then, bro.
Yeah, I might have just been able to get in.
Damn, this is the captain, bro. Chosen one.
The privilege.
Oh my
you feel
goodness.
me?
My goodness, that's crazy. No, but like when I was checking it though, from like 10, I was driving, so like 10:10 to like 10:40, that shit was not working. So, you know, it was awesome. But like the reused animation like 3 times, like I get it. It's trying to show off Luffy's like, you know, feeling out his power. Wasn't feeling that, and the Hiyori scene was a little long, but it was in the manga. Like everything was adapted perfectly.
So for the reused animation, you're talking about the part in the middle, like right before the.
You see him like bouncing around, right? Yeah. You see him like he'll bounce around on the ground, and then like they did it like 3 times or so, like.
Yeah, I didn't like that either. I was saying because like me and my wife were watching it, and we were like, okay, they reusing animations over and over. I'm like, bruh, like because. It was crazy. I thought it was counterproductive that they were going to reuse and I get that like they were trying to, because you know the natural progression of the One Piece anime is like 1 episode per manga chapter, right? But they still cut hella time I don't know if y'all noticed. I don't know if y'all just straight up skipped to it or not, but they cut the title card. And they cut. There was no recap. There was no
recap. It was in the no. I kind of wish there was though. I kind of wish they had the drums going off like the ending of the last episode into that would have been awesome.
They could have easily cut out a couple of things from this episode and just put a recap in there instead, and I think it would have been a lot better received.
I think the problems that I had with the episode were like. Just anime, like One Piece anime, typical problems, like you said, like the pacing and the decision making to show flashbacks and like reuse scenes a lot, and then like at the end, Luffy and Kaido stare at each other back to back, like there's like for like fucking 10 seconds. It's because Luffy, because the Kaido staring, because Luffy staring at him, because Kaido staring at him for like last 10 seconds. I'm like, yo, this kind of awkward.
Yeah, then I went to a flashback in between that too. I'm pretty sure at the very
and then
end.
and that's the thing. Like, why are you flashing back to something we saw 2 episodes ago?
And then
what the hit? Like
him getting smoked by Kaido's like
it was like the whole start of the fight from the rooftop.
It's like,
was
bro, we literally like we saw shit a few episodes ago, and not like even the beginning of the fight, fine, sure, but like literally the end of the fight we just saw 2 episodes ago. I was like, it's kind of a lot, but I think it's funny because they actually did something way cooler with when they showed the Gear 5 card and it's just a GEAR over and over again, and they showed like gear
All
2,
the
gear
gear
3, gear 4,
forms,
gear 2,
yeah.
gear 3.
Shit was fire, bro.
Fine. I was like, yo, you could have had way more cool flashbacks like that. But I understand, you know, it's an anime that they don't. The same person that does one scene might not do every scene, so I understand. So that's just all I didn't like, and also the Hiyori scene was a bit too long in the anime. That's fine, but. What I did like was that they literally murdered Gear 5, like you guys were saying. And I think one thing I can add is that the little details in between scenes, like how we get from one scene to the other, because we just see like Luffy getting buff, we see Luffy tossing him around, but we don't see like they did in the anime. Like it's so cool, bro. Luffy tightens his belt to make his torso bigger, to make himself more muscular. I was like, yo, what a cool detail.
Yeah,
bro,
he like not just that. Even like when you see him, like when he grabs fucking Kaido and you see him step on the ground, you see his whole body like go like, you know, kind of like,
and like
yeah, bro. And then even the ground, and then like, yo, that shit.
There's more. Like when Kaido shoots his Boral breath at Luffy before he pulls up the ground and reflects it, Luffy, his eyes pop out, and Luffy, like you don't see this in the manga, of course. Luffy grabs his eyes and brings them back to his face.
He did. I saw that. Yeah, that shit was crazy.
So yeah, also like another thing about the Looney Tunes is like the sound design. They killed it. It's like watching some Looney Tunes, just like watching some Disney shit. So there's like the anime typical pacing BS, but everything about Gear 5 and how they did it, perfect.
I will say, I have seen some complaints. Well,
yeah, I was
haters or not about the sound effects specifically. I've seen a couple people say that
like too goofy.
No,
what's the direction?
No,
like it took him out of it.
No, so what I saw was that it was too much too fast, and that in cartoons and shows like Looney Tunes, they use them sparingly, and they don't do them so rapidly one after another because it gets obnoxious. I don't know if you guys felt that way.
I can understand that actually for the anime specifically, because the anime leaned way more into it than the manga could have, and also it comes from like being a manga.
Well, yeah, it's part of the form, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So they had a lot more liberty to, you know, lean into it, and they really took it. They were like, it was bombastic. Like the scene where Luffy was like fucking moonwalking or some shit. Like there's so much, right? Or when Kaido, you know, gets burned by his own Boral breath and he's like he's on fire. Like I understand what they mean by too much too fast. Also, we had a chapter. This chapter was like a few attacks, and then next chapter is where it really got Looney Tunes with like Luffy getting squished and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I kind of, you know what, that's a pretty understandable point, that it was too much too soon.
I can see it
for the anime especially. I think
I can see it. They did do a few more than I thought they would, but at the same time, it is kind of how I expected it to sound. You know, like because he went full Looney Tunes, you know, and the anime really showed it. So
yeah.
Like, you know, like you said, the manga can't really convey the sound, but like every move that he was doing was something fucking crazy. Like he's always like, you see him like moving his legs to try to move in the air, right? Like just fucking the startup, you know. So,
the Roadrunner.
Yeah. So you know, but
also one thing that kind of points to that is that like we saw it coming. You know what I mean? I feel like as an anime person, like you're like, oh, what's Luffy's new gear, right?
No, you're right. As an anime person, it would definitely throw you off, right? Because it went from like this whole serious to the completely, you know, boing, like fucking all Looney Tune-ish shit, and I could definitely see it throwing people.
Yeah,
off.
somehow in the manga, like it's a bit more serious somehow. So that's that. So I kind of understand that one point.
I disagree. Actually, I'm not gonna lie to you. I think no.
I didn't say hey. I didn't say I agreed.
Okay.
I just said I understand the complaint.
Oh, like you're saying that's what they're saying, that it's more serious in the manga.
Oh wait, no. I think the anime like they like it's kind of like I don't think I got the exact same vibe from reading the manga as watching the anime. The first time I read it.
I feel like the anime makes this seem a lot more serious than I remember it being in the manga.
Okay.
I don't know. In the manga, I felt like
crazy too. I ain't gonna lie. This nigga's bouncing around like fucking Bugs Bunny all over the place.
No. I meant the whole arc, though, like the whole fight, like Kaido leading up, like, you know, Kaido. I don't know. I felt like when I was reading the manga before, like we all know Luffy's gonna do something to win. We know that. That's always the case. But it like there was like no desperation. I feel like there was a little bit of desperation. Like that desperation showed in the anime more than in the manga, in my opinion. Like
whether we disagree or not, I think people are talking specifically about when Gear 5 starts and like how it affects the feeling of the team.
I think it's really just comes down to the form, the style of consumption that you consume One Piece in, because it's just certain things that get portrayed differently, whether more specifically or more serious or more silly, whatever the case may be. It gets portrayed so much differently in the anime than the manga because it's a different media. It's a different style of media. You can do more in it. You know what I mean? So it's hard to keep that exact same feel vibe you get from the manga when you try to transfer it to the anime. You know what I mean?
Agreed.
Yeah, I think I can understand why some people might feel like it was a little bit more serious, and I think the reason why is like you get the I don't know if y'all noticed like the music choices, the music numbers, like they remix We Are and Again, and you know whenever We Are comes up, that's like a little bit more of a serious tone, a little bit. And in the sense that like Luffy did something amazing or someone did something amazing, whatever. And on top of that, I don't know, did y'all see the Conqueror's Hockey like illuminating off of Gear 5? Like just when he first transformed and he was like, and all that Conqueror's Hockey flare was like everywhere and everything. I'm like, oh shit.
Is it wild to say that I was a little more hype in the first half of the episode than the second half?
I don't think that's wild because the like I brought up earlier, the pacing at some point dragged like a mug, and it was hype at first, and then it was like, all right, kind of doing a little much.
Yeah, like watching Luffy bouncing around, Conqueror's Hockey flowing everywhere, like getting that actual power up.
Yeah,
I was glued to the screen, like holy shit, he's about to turn the fuck up. You know what I'm saying?
That was hard as fuck.
It's not to discredit the second half either, because he showed out, you know, and it was definitely still sick. But I was just so amped watching the build up of the process of him turning into the Gear 5. You know what I'm saying? It was,
and I'm telling you, bro, low-key, I think all that's also a pacing thing, bro. Low-key.
No, that's fair because there was the break between the Hiyori.
There's like there's break, and then there's 3 minutes between attacks, right? And it's like it's not their fault. Like they're right before the anime, the manga. I get it. I'm not gonna hate too much.
No, that's fair.
The manga is superior to always.
Yeah, no, that's fair, 100%.
Yeah, but it was definitely a different vibe from the first half. The first half, you also seen it on the trailer, but you seen like Luffy just illuminated with power, and he's like, "This is my peak." I was like,
just giddy as hell, laughing, smiling everywhere.
That
shit was
nice,
and
at one point, my wife was like, "Okay, he looks sinister as fuck right there." The part where he's like covered up in like silhouette, but
and you only see his red eyes too, right?
Yeah. He was like, "That look evil as fuck." I was like, "He's on demon time." That's
bro. It had everyone shook, bro. Like, yes, you know what was cool? The fact that we got to see Kaido's point of view, looking up at the hole in the sky, right? Looking at the ceiling, seeing Luffy up there, saying, "What the fuck is that?" And then I feel like because we know we've seen Kaido use because I felt like at the moment he saw a glimpse of the future, and fucking was like, "Oh shit, I'm about to get taken up." And he got shook, bro, because in the
anime, he deadass had sweat drops.
Yeah, he did.
Right before Luffy
he
came
grabbed.
He got grabbed him. He had sweat drops on
I was looking at that panel because I remember him being shook. But yeah, they did it well in the anime. He was shook.
Bro, I felt like that transition translated very well, and I loved it, man. And I remember what you were saying before, the eye drops, the eyes sticking out. Nothing crazy. They were very subtle, but I fucking loved it.
Yeah, like little details. The eyes. You talk about the cartoon effect.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like when he got grabbed and his eyes followed behind him.
And also yeah. Like it wasn't crazy. Like I was expecting huge, Yeah,
it was subtle though. Okay, I see.
It was subtle.
Yeah. Now my favorite was right before Kaido got hit with the blast breath, and they did a quick freeze frame of him, and his eyes were just wide open, oh shit.
Yep.
What? And then he got blasted. That shit was fucking hilarious.
That shit was funny.
All right, final rating before we move on to the chapter. Final rating out of 10. What we saying?
I'm gonna give it a 9 because I'm a fanboy. But because of the pacing, it won't be a 10.
I would say 8.5.
Yeah, I would say 8.5 too.
I'd say 8.
That's fair. I think that's fair.
Yeah, agreed.
I do think it was a really good episode. Still a very good episode. I think next episode is actually gonna be what we're really looking forward to, though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
bro.
Oh yeah.
I think we still have yet to see like the creme de la creme of this fight. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So
Yeah. Definitely looking forward to it.
it's
Shout out to
exciting.
the whole animation team, Toy Animation, etc., etc. We appreciate you guys. You guys killed it. Looking forward to the next banger.
Yeah, it's crazy just thinking about the fact that we were reviewing that chapter and now we're reviewing that episode. It's kind of
Bro,
Yeah,
yeah.
1 year later.
You
That
know
is
what
crazy, isn't
episode
it?
number that was? That episode number was 13. I actually checked that out yesterday.
wow. Wow.
Yeah, I was talking to my
Damn, it was
girls.
that early? Damn.
Yeah, I was talking to my girl's cousin because he told me he was into One Piece at the family party, and I showed him the pod, and he was like, "I'm just anime only," so he's watching the episode tonight. But he's like, "If I could watch the pod, what episode?" So I found out it was 13.
Fire.
Oh, that's kind of sick. So the anime starting to catch up to us on the
Yes, sir.
podcast.
Yeah,
That's
bro.
mad cool. I can't lie. That's sick, man.
It
That's
is.
dope. Yeah, if you're anime only, you can start watching a couple episodes. You're gonna be a little behind, but you're gonna make it there. And you know we caught the One Piece run back as well.
Absolutely.
Feel me? We covering all areas. You're covering all areas.
We get in there, bro.
Yeah, let's get into the manga then, right?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Let's do it. We did get a manga chapter as well. Peak week for One Piece. Oh, peak weekend for
peak.
One Piece. This shit is crazy. Got a
For
lot
real.
of heat. We're doing an episode a little early today, so we don't have the official translation.
Yeah, I was sad when I realized that. I was like, oh.
Yeah, it didn't even occur to me until I put the stream up. I was like, oh shit, I gotta go to TCB and shit. So some things that we say may or may not translate well in 2 hours when the official drops, but hopefully we'll cover the basis of everything that happens.
I think one thing will be, well, we're good on one thing specifically, and I will pop off when it happens. So let's
Okay.
just keep going.
Okay, you can bring it up when it comes.
I have a lot of shit. I have a lot of shit to talk about this thing.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie. I forgot what happened in this chapter. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, that's what we're here for. That's what we're here for. Exactly why we're here for you and everybody else. A quick run back. All right, let's do it.
Let's get it.
Chapter 1089, Under Siege. I always gotta shout out the cover art because Oda's one of the only mangaka that I've seen do this. Reader requests and stories within the cover art, so I always feel the need to shout it out, even if it's just a cover request.
This one had me crying a little.
It was cute, and there was the little love note from Sanji, and then Nami's like, "You're good."
Yeah.
I'm okay.
You're good. It's nice though. It's nice.
At least you get a response.
Yeah, it's better than nothing, right?
Yeah, this weirdo's in the background, by the way, in the window. If you guys didn't notice.
Yo, I did not notice that. What the
Bruh.
fuck? He's definitely in the background.
Oh,
I'm
no.
crying.
Yo,
Sanji, please.
yeah, he is right there. Wow.
What a loser. Oh my god. Oh man. Alright. We'll start the chapter in Fuchsia Village in East Blue. For those of you that don't remember, that is Luffy's origin village.
Yep.
The very first village we were in the story. We have people exclaiming about Garp-san. I think it's really funny how Oda inserted this line. He has people saying, "Missing in action? What's that mean? It doesn't say dead, right?" Like, that's I think that was a real funny little nitpick Oda did at us. Other people, 'cause I
definitely.
know everybody's nitpicking the exact wording of the last chapter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We get dude whose name escapes me. It's been 1,000 chapters, so it's not my fault.
The only reason anyone knows this guy's name is because of a meme. Because he got one, I think it was Rogers base. Him and his fans like made a poll to make him really popular on the character popularity poll. They're like, "Yo, get the mayor of Fuchsia Village to become like number 37th on the One Piece popularity poll." His name is Whoop Slap, and that's the only reason I know that.
I'm
and if anyone knew that for
fucking
no
crying.
other reason,
What's
they're
his
fucking nerds. Whoop Slap. WOOP Slap.
Bro, I don't even remember them saying that name in the first few chapters.
But he's the mayor, though, right?
Yeah. He like begged Higuma, Mister, you just read it in the One Piece Run Back. He was the one who begged Higuma.
I don't remember him saying his name, so I was just like,
It was maybe once.
Oh my god, damn, that's a crazy name.
Okay, I'm just gonna say the mayor because I'm not remembering.
Yeah, Mayor's good.
Yeah, so
Luffy's mayor. That's it.
the mayor exclaims, "There's no need to worry about Garp. He's a living legend." He hears somebody laughing and turns to snap at them and doesn't realize it's a baby. He apologizes, and then we get the lady whose name also escapes me.
Oh, Shanks baby.
Makino.
Makino, holding the baby, says everybody's a little over edge, and the baby's starting to recognize Luffy's face from the photos. Says, "You really love seeing Big Bro Luffy, don't you?" Have we seen this baby before?
We saw
Yeah,
it. She was
in
holding
the
it on the
cover.
cover page.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cover page.
Also, I think the hair not being dark kind of rules out Shanks as the father.
So
Yeah.
is this just something to skim over? Her saying "Big Bro Luffy"? Is it just because I could see this definitely just being a mannerism because
Luffy left 2 years ago.
Yeah, because Luffy grew up on the island. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
not even by a blood thing, but just as being family of the island, I guess.
Yeah.
They have a small village. Fusa village is pretty small. So usually in real life, when you're in like a small knit community, usually people it's more closer to like a family sort of thing when it comes to your small community, even if it's not actual blood relations and stuff like that.
And Makino was feeding this nigga Luffy for free as a kid, so
Yeah.
True. Like we all thought at one point that she was Luffy's mom, like at some point, but obviously it's not the case. And yeah, you're right, YHuss. I don't think that is Shank's son.
agreed.
I feel like that's the safe answer, but that's why. Like, I want this to be Luffy's secret little brother. That's Joy Boy Part 2, and comes out at the end of the story, and I don't know, beats Blackbeard. I don't know, some crazy shit. That'd be sick.
So Makino and Dragon.
Probably on that 2-piece.
I am on 2-piece right now. I'm not gonna lie. I'm on 2-piece right now. I'm gonna be honest. That was some 2-piece. You need a little 2-piece in your life to counterbalance the 1-piece sometimes.
It's true, yeah. So slice of life, bro. It's cool. I feel you.
Nah, realistically though, it is probably just an island thing more so than a blood thing.
Yeah.
Someone did in the SBS ask Oda whose child it is, and he just laughed and he said it's that person. He said something like it's that person's child or something like that, or it's something kind of vague, but also made it seem like it's someone that we know. It's possible he was close, but like I don't know.
Ben Beckman, bro. It's Ben Beckman.
Ben Beckman would be crazy.
But it would be kind of crazy, like if everyone was putting it together that it was Shanks just because, like, it could have happened during the 2-year time skip or something like that. Shanks went back. I'm like, I don't feel like Shanks would have went back. I kind of like, I don't know.
You didn't even go back for Uto, bro.
Yeah, like
this is true.
That's kind of real. I ain't gonna count.
This is true.
Yeah, I'm fucking crying.
But yeah,
this is in the next panel. This is Dadan, right?
Of course.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
I know you know it because of the Wordle.
That is exactly why. I was trying to remember. I was trying to think. Why do I know this name? That is exactly why I know the name. That's crazy.
Also, guys, my mic is making noise. Is it actually making noise? Can y'all hear some shit?
You're good.
yeah, I hear some.
It's only when you talk, but it's not crazy.
Yeah, it's like some feedback.
What my phone is.
Yeah,
it's not bad. Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So we get Dadan reacting to the news.
Yep.
Crying, and then it happens.
This shit is crazy.
This shit is pretty fucking crazy. I'm not gonna lie. We get simultaneous panels from all 4 sections of the
One Piece World, right?
No, it's the beginning of the world, before the Grand Line, or before the Red Line, or the Grand Line. Same thing. Is it just the 4 blues? I feel like there was a name for the world.
No. You're not. I think you're thinking of Paradise, which is the first half of the Grand Line.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Paradise?
Yeah, but this is just the blues. Yeah.
Paradise is the first half of the Grand Line.
Of the Grand Line.
There's no word for
Paradise.
the before the Grand Line, the 4 blues together.
I don't
all right, that's fine.
No,
Well, I think because the 4 blues. Oh yeah, because once it breaks, it'll be the all blue. That makes sense.
Exactly,
Okay. Cool.
Okay, that's fair. So we get simultaneous panels of all 4 of the blues: East, South, West, and North Blue. All of them are experiencing insane weather phenomenons right now. Narrative says no earthquake in recorded history matched the one felt on that day. It caused untold destruction across the entire world. We go down and we see the Grand Line is also affected. No one could determine the epicenter, so the significance of the geological event went unnoticed. As the narrator says that, we go to Laboon. Right as soon as you get off the Grand Line, we see Water 7. Whole bunch of other areas in the Grand Line.
The Goat Momonosuke.
Yep.
Yo, holy shit, that's Wano. I didn't even realize.
That's Wano, bro.
Yeah.
Yes,
So is this Marineford?
Yeah.
It might be actually.
It might be.
it might be. Yeah.
Well,
It's definitely Marine base.
we saw Hina at talking to Suru about Garp, right? So it probably is.
Also,
the Marine
it's
base
probably that Marine base that they were at.
Yeah,
then
yeah.
you're right. Okay, yeah.
Another random one, but I didn't know this is that the page before this, Callie, that middle one with this middle one with the tall building with this
That's
woman
all
on the
one
left
park, right?
side.
That's not Wano, right?
No, it's not one. It's not. All
No?
Park got destroyed, brother. But no, it's you know
You're
Sai
right.
and Don Chinjiao. It's their place.
Oh,
That's really cool.
I
Okay.
didn't know that, but that's the woman that Sai broke his relationship with to marry Baby Five.
That's
on the left side.
funny. That's
Yeah.
funny. So okay, real quick, if we can, what's the first one? The East
I don't think
Blue.
we know.
Loketown.
No. Okay.
Loketown.
Oh, stop.
Oh shit! Nice. Good look.
catch.
Good look. Okay,
Good catch.
guys.
By the way, left side, is that the fake Nami?
Yeah, that is.
The fake Nami from Sabati?
Oh,
Yo.
that definitely is.
No shot.
Wait,
this nigga
what?
is insane. What the fuck? No fucking shot, bro. Is it the same fit that she was wearing?
I think it might be. I think I saw Tekken say something like that.
That's fucking
So-
insane, bro.
So I think North Blue might actually be the place that Robin was in.
The
The
revolutionary.
Baltigo?
no, remember when
What
she was in
about
prison
Tino? Sorry,
in
San Juan Wolf.
the 2 year
What's she called? What's she called?
because it was a snowy place. I forgot. Is it
Tequila
Tequila?
Was
Tequila
it in
Wolf,
North
right?
Blue?
Tequila Wolf. Was it in North
I'm
Blue?
gonna look it up. I'm gonna look it
It
up.
wasn't. It was snowy. I remember. And niggas were wearing like jackets and shit.
Yo, that would be fucking crazy.
But Tequila Wolf was a bridge, wasn't it? It was a bridge where slaves were working.
Yeah.
Was it a bridge?
Yeah, it's a bridge that's being built from both ends around the world or some shit, which is another random thing that Oda has not talked about. Like so.
Bro, I didn't
Nope.
even remember that. Holy
I am
shit.
wrong. That is in the East Blue. Okay, so that's a
Okay,
different new place. All right.
Yeah, I don't think we know this place.
Hey, at least we fact check.
Yeah, I don't think we know the South Blue just looks like they're looking out. They're looking out at the sea from the shore, so we can't even.
That's
really
just crazy.
determine-
That tsunami is OD, bro.
Yeah.
Like
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
honestly, I was not expecting this. I was not expecting this at all.
This is insane. This is actually crazy.
Yeah.
So yeah, the narrator goes on to say, unbeknownst to the people, a kingdom known as Lelusia was erased from the map only 6 days prior. We then get a ship who has reached the spot where the kingdom was, and they say there is no trace of it, just a massive hole, like a circular waterfall in the middle of the sea.
Bro,
The ensuing
That-
earthquakes caused global sea levels to rise by approximately 1 meter.
1 meter is so insane.
that's
People will
crazy.
die, bro.
Yeah,
because
no,
of
that's
Yes.
that's a global catastrophe if that would happen
Yes.
in real life.
literally. Yeah.
Bro.
Mhm.
so when I saw this, I immediately thought of Impel Down. No,
Ennis Lobby.
Ennis Lobby.
Yeah,
Right.
You got it.
So do y'all think like that shit? Because it looks exactly the same,
Absolutely, it is the exact same
And-
kind
It
of.
is
hole.
literally the exact same hole, yeah.
right? And that happened. What that happened like fucking 800 years ago or whatever, maybe. Who knows? Like, I can't even imagine, man. Like this shit, it
It's
just
definitely the same thing.
it changes everything.
This is a crazy
It
fucking
does.
panel too. Like,
So
Yeah,
I wonder if this has to also do with why Ennis Lobby is always morning.
Yeah, bro. So, like, I got a personal theory now. Like,
Okay,
Talk to us, bro.
yeah, give it to us,
Okay.
man.
So,
of course.
I kind of think that, like, okay, so this looks just like Ennis Lobby, right? And you know, we thought that the Mother Flame potentially was like the weapon that caused this, right? And it kind of is, but I also think that because of what we've seen in the past in terms of Ennis Lobby, I'm starting to believe that it actually was Uranus. And the reason why is because shit, damn. I can't say because we talked it's going to come up later this chapter, but okay, basically we know that there's going to be more than one Mother Flame. So because of that, it makes me believe that the Mother Flame is actually a source to help power Uranus.
I completely agree. I think you're right. I think you're exactly right.
Yeah.
No, we get pretty strong evidence of this later in the chapter.
Yeah. And on top of that, I think I know what island that was done to. Over a year ago or so, or like about a year ago, I felt like, you know, I thought that Emu potentially could have teleported Lucia up into the sky. Now I'm kind of believing that Lulusia might be in the water, like just where that hole is, like far down.
Mhm.
And I'm starting to think that the island that also got sunk like that years ago was also God Valley. And the reason
Oh,
why,
that's a good one.
yeah, so I think God Valley is where Ennie's Lobby once was. And the reason why is because it makes sense to me because the parallels between like Ennie's Lobby itself and what God Valley represents, all because of uh what's his name? The King of God Valley. That's
Figarland Garland.
yeah, Garland, yeah. He's executioner, judge, jury for the Celestials right now, and Ennie's Lobby is the home of judges and stuff like that. Is where you go to be tried. So there's that parallel. On top of that, it will make sense time-wise lies because we don't know exactly when Ennie's Lobby was built. I had to make sure. I was like, because I was thinking back to the Shiki moment, right? The moment where Shiki invaded Marineford, and Garp and Sengoku was there to defend it, right? I had to make sure. I was thinking like, wait, was God Valley there during this time? And no, it wasn't. It because I was like, oh yeah, that happened previously, basically when Garp was still not new, but like
very young, right?
Yeah, very young. That's where he got his nickname, Garp the Hero, and that's where Roger, took out a big, player of the scene, or the biggest player, and became, more known as a legend and all that. So, and that was I think they gave a timeline because
we know what God Valley was. God Valley was 38 years ago.
Okay, there we go. Yeah, 38 years ago. So that's plenty of time because we've seen within the 2-year time skip that you can move Marineford and all probably other structures too to different locations. So it would make sense to me. And plus, on top of that, Garp did also, not Garp, but Sengoku also did use the language that God Valley was like wiped off the map, never to exist again. Like something happened to it. And no one's questioning it. So it would make sense that they put like Ennie's Lobby over where God Valley used to be, to me.
This is a theory I've definitely been seeing. I saw one or two. I think I saw a thread on it on Twitter. I can't remember exactly what it was, but I definitely saw something about that being the original spot of God's Valley, and I agree with a lot of the things that you said.
I think it makes
so someone else got the theory too.
I don't know if it was exactly word for word what you said, because I just skim it. I don't like, a lot of people be chatting, but what you said definitely makes sense, 100%.
Yeah,
I think it makes a lot of sense, but I think Oimo and Kashi the Giants, when they're talking to Usopp, they might have been there for longer than God Valley, like the incident happened. You know what I mean? I think it might have been because God Valley was 38 years ago. I think Oimo and Kashi might have been working. I will search it up.
You're talking about the two that
were
stationed at Ennie's.
Yeah, Ennie's. I think they were working there longer, but I'll search it up though.
And
could they build such a structure like that in 30? I guess 30 years is a long time, right?
Oh, it just says it says on their Kashi's wiki page, together with Oimo, one of the two giants who guarded the front gate of Ennie's Lobby for over 50 years. So I think that kind of cuts Ennie's Lobby, but I do think like it still got smoked by Uranus though, and quite wiped out the map.
Okay. So maybe it's not God's Valley then, but it is my other part of my theory is that like everything is sunken, nothing is like actually destroyed. And the reason why I think that these islands that got wiped out like this are sunken is because the fact that the sea level rose by approximately 1 meter. I had to look it up, and I had to look up all the different things that can like raise sea levels. And the biggest things are like glaciers melting into the seafloor, obviously adding more to the water. That's why we don't want, the glaciers in real life, global warming and stuff. We don't want them to like actually melt,
Yeah.
because that would spell doom for the entire Earth.
Yeah.
And on top of that, just natural from global warming, if the sea waters like warms up as well, that also causes it to expand. So one or two things: either the blast itself was so hot that it caused the sea levels to rise, or that the islands were sunken. Because we have no idea if the sea waters were like that before. You know what I mean? When the first time that it happened to the hole that's covered by Ennie's Lobby, we don't know if it rose.
Well, my only real quick, the only thing that made me think that it did is because of fucking Wano, right?
I was literally just about to say that, but most likely it did because the fact that we know Wano is underwater.
Exactly.
And on top of that, you see later that what's his name, the mayor of Water 7, that he's here. I don't think it's a coincidence. I think that what is it called?
Aqua
Lagoon?
Yeah. Aqua Laguna. I think that might have had something to do with the past blasting that happened over Ennie's Lobby.
That's an interesting theory.
I agree. Also, there's Water 7 water issues that happen because it literally is continuously rising the water level there, and also Longring Longland where they do the Davy back fight. The high tide makes the other islands uncrossable. You can't walk there. That's why that one dude's tribe walks around the islands when it's low tide. So yeah, even that island that's right beside Ennie's Lobby experiences water issues. So I definitely think that Ennie's Lobby is without a doubt, the same. The same thing happened with Uranus too. So
exactly.
The one thing I would say, just real quick, because we've been on this for a minute. Just the one thing that I will say though is there's a time skip. There's a time frame in between the original blast and when these catastrophes happen.
Yeah.
I think he said 6 days. Yeah, 6 days prior before these events happen around the globe. So I don't know if it's necessarily the blast.
Yeah.
Right. So if it's not that, and
I think Mod Loki has a good theory about it getting pushed down. And like,
yeah, I think it's. I really believe it's got pushed down because
that makes sense.
Like,
yeah,
it makes sense if islands are getting pushed like smack dab down to the seafloors. I could see ocean levels rising because that's a whole nother that's a whole landmass that would be equivalent to like not the glaciers melting, because that would be like that's several meters of water that would like kill out basically all life, but
yeah,
it's big enough to where it has an impacting effect. If stuff's getting pushed down, you put something in like a glass cup, and obviously the water is just going to keep getting higher and higher until it spills over. And that's why I think it's happening here. And a long time ago, when O'Hara made his One Piece video, the one that got millions of views on where the One Piece was located, he did bring up an interesting point that it might have something to do with Ennie's Lobby, and the fact that there's a big hole there. What if Laftel was in the hole or something like that? And it would make sense because the Marines are guarding it or something like that. I don't believe that, but I do think that there is some credence that we'll be going back underwater again, and we'll see the islands that have been missing because of the giant hole, because they're underwater. And we've been seeing it kind of like all over the place too. Like I said, with Wano, the old Water 7, and all that other stuff. So I do think it's sunken, personally.
I will say I am a simple man. I see a hole in the ocean. I wouldn't think that the water would be rising. So I think the pushing thing is actually does make sense. Because I thought, imagine I'm thinking like there's a fucking hole, like all this water's just pouring in, like so like
it would fill up, yeah.
It wouldn't fill up. It would just be like like the water would start decreasing, I guess, overall. But
I'm about to say, because water can't fill it. It's a hole, right? But
yeah, but we don't even know
water.
Yeah,
it's already water. Like if it's in a hole,
Yeah,
Like,
I wonder
let's
if
say
one
the
will explain the physics.
yeah, like if there's a hole there, right, and it's already a sea body of water, like there's nothing that like because it's different from like because in my head, right, you look at it, you forgetting that that's a body of ocean and it's not like land, right? It would make sense that that was like a land thing, and you see water just in real life, you see water just naturally fill in the hole or whatever, but already water. There was water below it.
Bro,
There was water already below it.
Bro,
That's why.
I had enough of y'all trying to be Neil deGrasse Tyson, bro. Y'all are not physicists, bro. And we gonna have to see why this hole ain't holding like it should be holding. I'm sure it will have a reason. But
we spent a lot of time.
It's definitely interesting. We'll see what more it does with it at some point. Moving on, we are still going around the world and seeing the ramifications of this event. This is the Love Island, right? I don't remember the name of it.
Baka, yeah, it's
Kamabaka. Okay, yeah, right, okay, yeah. Tie there, and some islands are entirely submerged. We then go back to Fuchsia Village, where they're also experiencing the tide. Yeah, that's pretty much it on that event.
Yeah, it just really I don't know, this whole chapter definitely for me amplified how powerful these weapons really are.
Yeah,
they're global change, like they're
the
global
government
changing.
Some devious villains, son. I tell you what, it's some devious motherfuckers. But yeah, we're finally back. We return to Egghead. For what feels like a long time. I guess it has been a long time.
Like 11 or 12 chapters.
Yeah, it's been a long time, but we are finally back on Egghead. The sea levels are also rising here. But along with the sea levels rising, there is also the threat of a massive, gigantic force of the Navy, Marines. The narrator says, posing more than enough firepower to put a Buster Call to shame. Which is insane because we know what we know about a Buster Call. So to be stronger than that is crazy. It talks about the fleet a little bit, a whole bunch of ships, 20 great warships,
30,000 Marines.
30,000 Marines, 9 Navy HQ vice admirals. One of them we met already, right? We met this one. What's her name again?
Doll.
Oh, she's a baddie. Oh my god.
She really is.
But yeah, we have 9 vice admirals, along with Admiral Kizaru. And Admiral Kizaru. He's on the phone on the transponder snail with Sentinel, trying to get him to surrender. Sentinel is not backing down. We get a little more of the dynamic. We get a little perspective into that dynamic between Sentomaru, Kizaru, and Vegapunk.
This is really cool.
Yeah, we get a little flashback of a younger of the trio, with Kizaru playing with his light powers and Sentomaru admiring it, Vegapunk smiling.
Seeing young Kizaru is like insane to me for some reason. I just never thought I was showing this.
No,
just thought he was always just Navy Admiral Kizaru looking like this.
Yeah. Like some Kizaru backstory. Whoa, we really in Endgame,
but
bro.
You know what this kind of shines light on? I don't know if y'all ever heard the theory about the fact of how the original admirals got their devil fruits. That like at some point they are just given to them by either the world government or the Marines at some point.
I have heard that, yeah.
Yeah, well, I think that like this kind of disproves that, in my opinion, because they were doing this apparently before they were Marines, and Kizaru had the light ability, so he most likely, he got the fruit before he was ever involved in the Marines.
Yeah.
Aokiji also the battleship bags probably proves it because they said no hockey or devil fruit powers. So
True.
So they had it before he was admiral. Yeah, you're right. You're definitely right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we get a little bit more dialogue between Sentinel and Kizaru. Kizaru says, no one can protect Vegapunk from his own choice to research the voice century. I am just a cog in the machine.
Ooh.
You know what though? I think this line
line.
plays into everything we've seen of Kizaru so far, just being that laid back, go with the flow type of dude. Like we don't really see too much motivation from him.
Yeah, I'm just here to get paid.
Yeah, no, that's definitely how he's been so far.
What I think it was Marshawn Lynch. He's like, yo, I'm just here so I don't get fined.
Yo, that's real. That was definitely Marshawn.
Yeah.
He points out that this fight isn't even really worth it. It's not a good investment for the Marines to get into this fight. But more or less they press forward. They move on. We see a different warship. I don't know if it's the same warship that Kizaru was on.
I remember they were like,
They were talking. Yeah,
tea.
no, they were in the same room at one point.
Yeah, but it's it's not impossible for Kizaru to be jumping.
Just go to ship to ship. You know, that's fair. That's very fair. So inside a warship, we also see one of the elders, Jay Garcia Saturn, the one that we previously saw was traveling with Kizaru to Egghead. He says to make sure that no one knows he's there. He then comments on the headline that Morgan made up, where the Strawhat pirates storm Egghead to take Vegapunk hostage, and asks for the reality of the situation.
That is crazy to me.
Yeah, no, like he immediately assessed, like, this is cool, but what's really going on?
Yeah,
we can tell his assessment level is high. Go ahead.
Bruh, it is so wild to me how nonchalant they are about lying like that. Like, it's just like, oh, the Straw Hats. Yeah, they took Siege of the place. Yes. That's a good headline. Yeah. Okay, so what actually happened? Like, what?
In front of a vice
right, like just straight up on the. So they be like, it's crazy, right? Because like the Marines really believe they on the side of justice, and as higher, I'm pretty sure the higher up you go, the more bullshit you can see. Like the more bullshit like that the world government is involved with, you could just see through it. And some of them, and depending on your viewpoint, you might be okay with it. You might be like Akainu. Like I really think Akainu, Kizaru, and Aokiji are like perfect representations of the three avenues that you can like feel as a Marine.
Yeah.
Towards this stuff. Akainu is like, I don't know if he's necessarily okay with it because he does have his own like kind of thing going on there with the Gorosei, but more or less he enforces it. Kizaru's okay with it. He's just chilling. He's, as you see, he's just a quote unquote cog. And Aokiji is more of the yeah. So it's
I like that. Okay.
Yeah, it's just man, I can't believe that he was just so nonchalant about the lie. Like it's just like yeah, we're fucking their name. Okay, so what happened? So what's actually going on? Like, and then when everything's said and done, they're just going to continue with the lie anyway. It's like, wow.
Yeah. One quick thing to note. I don't know how much importance it may or may not be, but you know, with Oda, everything might be important. Since we get to Egghead, every single character introduction that we see, well, I guess apart from the Navy Admirals, once we see Kizaru, every character introduction we see, they're eating something.
Yeah, I heard this. It's pretty funny. It's like
it's pretty. I don't know how much relevance it'll be, but
the Strawhats are eating too later.
Yeah, everyone is munching.
Everyone's just fucking gearing up, bro. They're getting ready.
Yeah, they're getting ready, 100%.
They're getting the full strength.
Yeah. So Saturn asks what the reality of the situation is. One of the vice admirals say they have not received any word from Cypher Pole, but they can draw their own conclusions based on Sentinel's resistance. And then he goes off on this huge assumption on what's going on right now. That Dr. Vegapunk and 6 of his satellites are in the lab stratum along with Seraphim, and that they've joined forces with the Straw Hat. The Cypher Pole agents are also there, who are their advance guard. The other Cypher Pole agents have been captured in the Fabio Stratum, and the Frontier Dome is at 100%, so nobody can get in or out of the Labo Stratum. They don't have any idea of knowing what has happened in the last day, in the dome in the last day or so. That was the first hint that some time has passed in between when we first came and left.
Yeah.
In Egghead. He keeps going. He goes on to ask about the researchers on Egghead. Confirms with their that they have evacuated, but their positions have been being tracked. And then the Gorosei says, "What would we do if they got away? They might know something. Sink them immediately."
Oof.
Yeah, grimy
no
dude.
chill.
Very grimy
No
dude.
chill.
Very grimy dude. Bro is not playing. We then get this really interesting piece of information here as well. Well, the Vice Admiral says there's one more thing. The Jewelry Bonnie, oh my god, was reported to be on the island as well. Saturn exclaims, "Oh, Kuma's daughter. We no longer have any use for her, but given that she is just a little girl, you can leave her be."
That was crazy.
That's an interesting line.
Yeah.
So one theory that I've seen running over the weekend is that Jewelry Bonnie has been cosplaying as an adult girl, and her little girl form is actually her true form.
I thought about that a little bit when I read the chapter, but then I remembered that when she first talks about her dad, when she's crying and stuff, I don't know if it's when she's crying, but she talks about, it's when she says that we're part of a special people or something like that. He's holding her as a kid, and she's not that young, but she looks like a 10-year-old, something like that. And that was a long time ago, so I don't think she's actually a kid. I thought about it too though, but I don't think she really is a kid.
Okay, so the official translations just came out, and it says here, essentially the same. Like, it says that she's just a girl, not that.
Not that she's a little girl.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I wrote it on in the chat. Says maybe they're just trying to give Saturn's personality. I think that's actually low key kind of a fact, because remember we talked about when Emu was giving them orders, they were kind of like, "Yo, is that really what you want to do?" And they look like they were. Remember when they were trying to convince themselves to smoke Lucia or something like that?
Yeah.
Like they were trying to so. Maybe the Gorosei aren't as cold-blooded as Emu. Maybe that's a good point. That's a good.
That's fair.
He don't get. He's not getting that lightweight from me. He just a few seconds ago said, "Smoke them all." Innocent people that had nothing to do with the situation. Like,
Yeah, that
nah,
shit was
you
No,
gotta,
that's
you,
fair.
and
that's like O'Hara researchers type shit though.
right. But that includes women and
Women and
it was
children.
Yeah,
Right.
like
No,
bruh,
but if they're researchers on the island where they're doing voice into research, I feel like it's kind of like O'Hara, like where not that I'm defending genocide, but my point is that like to him maybe that has a point. You know what I mean? Like we're protecting Emu,
But Bonnie was on the island too. If his logic can lead to they all might know something, so they must be sunken. I don't see how Bonnie could be the exception.
But they're the
to that
researchers
if
though. He was
got there.
talking about like the scientists and researchers though. That's what I mean.
Oh, scientists and
Yeah,
researchers.
That's why you wanted him smoke.
Yeah, they wanted him smoke because he didn't want any info on the Void Century stuff that Vegapunk.
I agree. I'm not gonna say he's some kind dude. I'm not saying that.
Yeah.
I still think it's still, at least for me personally, it's a bit much for me to see him in that type of light. But I just think that the reason why he's letting her go, because I think because I don't think he's remember about Kuma's deal, like he made some type of deal with the world government, and that's why he's the way he is. I just think that he's saying that because he's just living up to the promise of Kuma, and he's just not letting them know.
That's probably
It's definitely possible.
That's probably the most probable thing I've heard about this. Actually, that makes sense.
So
That's
I think that's what it is really. But
yeah, it's definitely fair. That's definitely fair. I can see that. Maybe it wasn't too much to look into this line as I thought, but it might come into play later if the Gorosei or somebody runs into Bonnie. You might get some more information. Coming into the end of the chapter, we get Kizaru-san picking up a transmission from Egghead, long range call. It's a call to Mary Dwas.
Yeah.
Kizaru was informed that he has a black transponder snail so he can listen in on the call.
It's funny because the exact same thing happened in Savoti. Someone's like, "Dude, you know that black snail is for you to tap into calls." He's like, "Oh, really?" And so they had to tell him again 2 years later. It's pretty funny to me.
Yeah, he did not pay attention. Bro does not care.
Does not care.
So we go to the room in which the four Gorosei stay. The call's coming from York on the island. As this York speaking, they're like, "Oh, it's you." York goes off on them, asking why they're trying to kill her. And she goes on to say that she went out of her way to tell them all about Stella's betrayal, referring to Vegapunk researching the Void Century. Gorosei said, "You did do that, but then again, you are just Vegapunk. You are a Vegapunk just as much as he is." York denies the claim. There's a little bit of back and forth. The Gorosei try to get information on what's going on the island. York says, "Since I'm the one calling you, I'll let you take a wild guess. You realize I have Seraphim under my control, right? The fact that I survived the night shouldn't come as a shock." Once she asks if they're trying to wage a war on her, and they say that they've decided to have a change of heart in the matter. One of them says, "Am I right in thinking that you are capable of replicating the Mother Flame alone?" They say this is a special request we're acting on to ask her such a question. York starts to ask from who, but then she says, "Either way, if you want the power station, I need to make it is here." Like that's
the power station. The power station I need to make is here. The power station I need to make the Mother Flame is in
the power
is
station. I need to
island.
make it is here. Okay, I got you. Okay, and make the Mother Flame. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So here I want to say, anyone who thought it was Mother Flame, you were fucking tripping. Respectfully, like respectfully, because all the context clues about this energy source that the robot used, that Vegapunk. By the way, Vegapunk as Shaka said he couldn't recreate it, but it's crazy that York is saying she can. That's something to think about. But it was so clearly some sort of power source, like Mod is saying, like Mod to this episode. And now we have a lot more, evidence for it. But like, because I definitely just thought it was clear that it was Mother Flame, but now it is definitely Mother Flame. Also, another thing that Lilith said when she was talking to the Straw Hats when she's bringing them up to the lab, Frankie asks, "How does this whole island run?" And she tells him that it runs on fire, and that if only we had an eternal flame, that way we could have our own sun. And if you think about that line, our own sun and Mother Flame, if you think about a Mother Flame, technically that shit is the sun, right? Like that shit is the flame that gives all of us, energy and life and stuff like that. And they talk about a fusion reactor. Well, the kanji apparently can be read as fusion reactor. I was looking at Library of Ohara's chapter secrets in the middle of the episode, and he says that that's a valid translation, fusion reactor. And by the way, what we do on Earth is nuclear fission. That's how our nuclear energy works. We split atoms. The sun does nuclear fusion. So if we could do that, literally we would have no more energy problems. So basically, Mother Flame fusion reactor, I think it's pointing more and more that they're trying to harness the power of the sun god Nika. Maybe that's what they use for the robot and stuff that the Ancient Kingdom used to use. So just a lot of interesting lines, and it was definitely Mother Flame the whole time. I said it from the beginning of that episode.
Yo, take your credit. I respect it. Get your credit, my guy.
I thought that shit was crazy, bro.
My man.
I was never too invested in the whole Mother Flame. I'll be honest with you, but
I respect it. I just thought it was the whole Zoro thing.
Yeah, it was. That's why I think ended up. That's why they said R, because L and R are interchangeable in Japanese. So.
So.
Yep. No, it'd be like that.
Take your credit though. You deserve it.
Thanks, man. I remember talking to Stan Proud about it in the Twitter chat like a month or two ago. I was like, nah, bro. Anyway, sorry.
It's all good. It's all good.
Oh, it is
understandable.
perfectly fine.
Get your shit off. Yeah. So York just says, "Just promise you won't lay a finger on my laboratory, and that she still wants to be a celestial dragon." Gorosei accepts both these requests. He says, "You got a deal. There's just one more thing that I need you to do first, if you don't mind. Save me, please! Luffy's gonna kill me!" Yo, so when I first read
Very well
this
delivered, Callie. I love the delivery.
That's real. That's literally how she did it. This part's gonna be hilarious when it gets animated. The Gorosei, including Saturn and Kizaru, is all completely shocked at this turn of events, and we get the last panel of the Straw Hats, almost all the Straw Hats, completely and Rob Lucci and Vegapunk, completely surrounding York. Zoro has the sword to her neck. Nami says everything's coming into focus. Luffy says, "I don't really get it, but we can just use her as a human shield to get away." We also have Bonnie, who says, "Does that mean we're under siege?" Vegapunk who says so. That's how it is. So the Gorosei has just revealed almost the entire plan. Strawhats are now completely understanding of the situation, and they're chilling. They're chilling.
Vibing.
They're absolutely chilling. From where we left off to where they're at right now is a completely different scenario. They are all intact, chilling. They're eating, resting up. Vegapunk is free. Lucci is just calm, not trying to kill nobody. Completely different from where we left off. I gotta say, I popped off.
I did.
Like, I was like, this is a fucking YONKO crew right here. Yep. This is YONKO. This is YONKO shit right here, my guy. Yeah, talk about it. Talk about it.
Oof, man. This panel was sick. I love how they have the advantage. They like the Gorosei were like, make sure no one knows we're here. And now the Straw Hats are like,
little do you know.
we know you guys are here. Like, so I'm excited to see where this goes.
Oh, go ahead.
One peculiar piece of information I didn't realize that was pointed out to me after I read it is that there is one Straw Hat missing.
Yeah, Robin.
Yes. I noticed this. Stussy is also.
Stussy is also missing. Yes.
As well as Kaku.
Yeah. As well as
Atlas.
Who?
Atlas too. Yeah, Atlas. Yeah.
Yes.
Well,
and the Seraphims.
So Atlas, Chopper, and Robin were all headed towards the basement.
Yeah.
But Chopper's here.
Chopper's here, but Atlas and Robin are not here. Okay, that's interesting.
And also those other Marines, right? The other CP agents that went missing too.
They're probably still locked.
They're probably still locked up. They're not unlocking them niggas for them to start shooting at them. Like, they're not leaving them niggas out.
I don't know how they leaving Rob Lucci out though. I'm just saying. I know, like,
yo. So my theory is Rob Lucci got humbled to absolute bits within the past 24 hours, bro. Because when we left, that nigga was like, as soon as this battle is done, I'm beating your ass, Luffy. That was his energy.
Yeah, it was.
And now he's literally sitting here, hands in pocket, just looking,
cool,
watching a government associate being captured and borderline tortured by pirates, not saying a single word. This one of these absolute pillars of justice, just watching this happen.
He's hearing his fucking masters on the phone and he's not helping them at all.
Yeah.
So, I feel like he has no love for the Gorosei. That's just me.
I mean, we know he literally is an agent just because he wants to kill people.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree with you, Callie. Well, it would be funny to me if Luffy actually beat his fucking ass before this. I would love that. I would fucking love that.
That would be hype.
That would be fucking hype. Maybe that might be, because he's chilling. Also, it would be death to fight all these guys right now.
Yeah,
he couldn't even fight Luffy.
I honestly don't, because I feel like Lucci already fought Luffy, so I think he's down to fight him again. But I think that if he fought him and lost again, I don't think that would humble him, because he lost the first time and it didn't humble him. I think that he saw something in the Straw Hats of the crew over whatever happened over the past 24 hours, whether it was how fast they reclaimed the situation, or maybe Lucci was struggling with the Seraphim and then Luffy just said, fuck it, I'm gonna beat his ass and took him out real quick or something. I think it seems like Lucci maybe saw something in the Straw Hats that made him recognize the difference, you know?
That or he learned something on the island, right, about the government, or it's something that's why he's like, I'm not gonna push, or or he's just biding his time.
I don't see him as I feel like Lucci's real, like, kind of one-track minded in his goals and stuff. I don't see him.
Yeah, he was. He had handcuffs on, and he was still not saying the stuff that was getting out of handcuffs.
I don't see him switching sides based off like, oh, the government is doing some bad shit, or they're not really here for me, or something.
Right?
Cares
That's
true.
He's not really that type of person.
Unless the government's trying to kill him too for failing. Like, he's failed multiple times.
That's potentially
that's
possible. But in the past, in pre-time skip, he even acknowledges that the government does fucked up shit, but he doesn't care, because
you're right.
As long as he gets to kill, Basically, this is just an excuse for him to kill.
Yeah.
Mhm.
He's a legit psychopath. So
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
yeah, that's. But yo, like Callie said, and like I was saying before, this is what it means to
Mhm.
be a Yonko
sir.
crew.
Absolutely.
Mon, you've been saying this shit the whole time. You've been fucking spitting, bro. This is the chapter.
I've been saying it,
Like-
bro. Ma said it the very first couple of chapters of Egghead, and it has not held up yet.
Yeah,
Bruh,
every
look.
time.
Look. Here's the crazy part, right? Here's the crazy part, right? The Guru say, and you see all those reactions. They just like a couple of panels ago were talking about the fake ass headline that Luffy took siege of the island. They didn't even believe it themselves. And you know what's funny? When I read this chapter, this is how I know, like, you know, this is why I got absolute faith in my nigga Luffy, bro. Like, she was saying, like, oh, you know, I'm here. I got the Seraphim. What you think happened? Like, come on now. I'm over here like, ooh, I don't mean this in a derogatory way, but bitch, please. Like,
I'm crying.
that was my energy when
The
I read this.
disclaimer
I'm
before
like,
the sentence is hilarious. I'm not
This guy's
gonna
too
lie.
nice. He couldn't
He
just say
couldn't even
it.
let it rock. He had to put the
Right,
disclaimer
yeah.
first. That's real.
yeah, because I had because like that's how I am even in real. If you know me in real life,
respectable. Very
Respect.
respectable.
I don't like to do that, but on occasion I will bring that out for not just
I love this guy, bro.
on occasion
God.
I will bring it out, and it's like I knew for one she was lying because how is it that she took siege? She took over the island, but Kizaru and Sentomaru are at a stalemate right now. That makes no sense. And then secondly, they had the nerve to believe this chick that Luffy the Yonko was overtaken. Would they have believed that for Shanks, for Blackbeard, Kaido, for Big Mom? Would they have believed it for Nano? No. So they still disrespected him, and that's why they got that look. I tell ya, this is the arc where they prove to them like, no, we are a legit Yonko crew. Y'all shouldn't be surprised by shit that we do. Like
100%.
just straight up. Even how they set this up to 30,000, like they said 30,000 freaking soldiers. Freaking what was it, like 30 ships, 9
20 battleships, some shit.
yeah, about like one admiral,
one Gorosei.
yeah,
like,
bruh. They were like, this puts a Buster Call to shame.
Yeah.
Who's the type of niggas that I think that would get that type of force? It is Yonko, bruh. So
Absolutely.
even by their own merits, like I am flabbergasted that they brought in a Yonko cat. Like, you know what's funny? What this type of force is what I would expect them to bring, like Rayleigh to someone like Rayleigh or something like that. A little less than that, because when back in the pre-time skip when they were trying to get Rayleigh, or the soldier went to Garp saying like, "Hey, Rayleigh's on Sabaody. What do you want to do?" He was like, "My G, you think we could take on 2 legends right now at the same time? Like, this is he said like we're allocating too many resources. This is the type of shit I was thinking of, like somewhere in this vein, but obviously more because like, you know, 1 admiral plus 9 vice admirals and 30,000, like that is Yonko. That is like 1/3 of Marine Ford.
Yeah.
Like that's like 1/3 of Marine Ford. Marine Ford?
And consider this is just Luffy's like main crew. It's not his fleet at all, or any of his bases. He's just at Egghead on a random island.
Exactly.
And he doesn't have the fleet, so like these niggas are taking him serious, bro.
Exactly. It's weird. It's like how y'all bring the forces that should like. How do y'all bring a force that's like comparable somewhat to a Yonko crew, and then y'all acting shocked that a Yonko crew has fucking took control of the situation. Like, bro, y'all were so quick to believe, like y'all really downplay my nigga Luffy, and it's like, I hope Luffy shows y'all. I wish Luffy could just walk out there and just. I wish Conqueror's Haki could just blast all the ships at once and just be like, yeah, it just walk back in. Because that's the type of energy I'm feeling right here. It's like, bro, stop playing with my mans, take him seriously, and stop the cap with all this extra shit. And it's like, if y'all don't send Kizaru in there so I can see Luffy whoop his ass, I don't know
He
what
doesn't get it, bro.
like
I respect the energy 110%. Even
Bruh.
from Luffy himself, like saying a human shield is crazy.
That is
A
wild.
human shield is a crazy line. That's a YONKO. That's some shit I would expect Kaido to say.
right.
Like real shit.
This is devious.
It's getting real.
He's done that shit before though. When he put Buggy in front of him to take me off
Yeah.
tackle, like some shit Luffy does. I was so like you said, Kai. I think I talked about it last chapter. Like the crescendo of the hype of last chapter. You know, when it's building to when Kobe and them fly off to when he punches the thing. That build up of hype and delivery is crazy. To me, it was another really well paced chapter of like it starts off really depressing kind of like with the whole world getting fucked up, and then you know, obviously the York talking like, yo, I survived the night, I had the Seraphim under my control. You know, obviously the single mom, I never believed that, I rate you for that. But, you know, we hear her talking to them Goro saying it's like, yo, they're making a deal, they want her to get her out. Okay, like it's looking better for York. But then it's like, yo, I know I said all that, but please come save me from this nigga, bro. Like the hype. Like I was telling Callie before the stream, I was reading this live because I read it in a voice call with my boys, and I'm the narrator, so niggas can follow along. And I could feel my voice raising as I was taking the situation. I was getting so fucking excited. I was like, no way, this is how they show it. I just think this is such a perfect like way to come back to Egghead. And I saw someone else say it that like, imagine we went from Shanks Garp to you know, more of the, you know, the slower paced Egghead chapters. Like that would be really like a bit of a drop in hype. So I think they did it perfectly. Like we just come back and boom, like no joke, straight business. We won. That shit is so fucking hype. So
it
amazing.
is fire.
This moment was just fucking amazing to me. I love this shit, bro.
It was
bro.
definitely peak. Definitely peak. That's pretty much it for the chapter, I guess, right? Anything else you guys wanted to?
I think we have like a few questions in terms of like how things played out, because like Usopp is fine, you know what I mean. So they got the Seraphim back under their control.
Yeah, they also got unfrozen at some point too.
Exactly.
Yeah. But I don't think the thing is I don't think the Seraphim are like defeated, like destroyed, because
I
that would
definitely not.
Yeah, I do think that would be like kind of anticlimactic to just build up the Seraphim to be some like end game players.
Toss them off.
Just toss them like that. Unless that was Oda's point. I ain't gonna hold you. If that was what Oda was trying to do, hats off to him, because like apparently the government thought that was enough to stop a Yonko crew, just 4 Seraphim. I'm like, bruh, all right, yeah, sure.
Well, there's also 4 more that could end up being major players at some point in maybe a different event.
Yeah.
True, yeah.
And also, it's not like they expected the CP0 to fail too. But that's
Wait, what that have to do with the Seraphim?
Oh, like just like their forces though, like because he's talking about their forces, like to them send because they also sent
like
CP0
in general, yeah.
And
they didn't kill Vegapunk, But I wonder if Atlas is okay, because it's like the only satellite left, right? The 3 of them, Shaka, Pythagoras, and Edison got smoked. No, well I don't know about Edison actually.
I didn't think.
Oh, Edison was with Nami, but the other 2.
Yeah, the other 2 got smoked. Pythagoras and Shaka.
And Edison's not here, and Atlas isn't either. So I wonder if they're okay. Man, now I'm just curious what the fuck happened.
Yeah, I wonder if we go back. Do we go back in time next chapter?
I was gonna ask you guys that. Do you think we're gonna get a flashback of what happened prior?
I think they'll gloss over stuff.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna get like a full breakdown of like the past 24 hours.
I wonder if we're gonna see what Bonnie saw, because Bonnie's okay.
Remember? Thank you for saying that. Yeah.
Because I remember last time we saw Bonnie was in tears, like going through Kuma's memories, and
she came out and she went back in, and we didn't hear from her again. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, so
she was in hell last time we saw her. So now she's chilling. So a whole day is man. See, now that we saw the ending, now I'm like even more intrigued. Like, what the fuck happened?
Yeah, like, what happened in the last 24 hours?
I'm a little tight. We got a break, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
I think it's a Shonen Jump break, which is so unfortunate.
Yeah, unfortunately.
So unfortunate.
Well, yeah. Well, the thing is that because it's talked about that the Shonen Jump break, even though that happens, the chapter tends to get linked early anyway. So we could be getting a chapter next.
That's true.
Yeah, so we could be getting a chapter next week anyway. But if we do, then the week after that is
we won't get anything.
Yeah, we won't get anything because So I guess we gotta wait and see on that front. And also, my man's Usopp is funny because he got the Den Den Mushi on York's arm. He's using her big ass as like a stool for the.
That's funny.
I think that's funny. I was getting weak when I saw that.
I do love Zoro's just smirking, holding Enma to her throat, like, yeah, try something. Like,
sick ass panel, man.
It's
Sick
such
ass
a
fucking panel.
Yonko.
Yeah, this shit is so sick, man.
It is hard. It is hard, bro.
yeah, it's hard seeing Zoro do some pirate ass shit like this, holding a sword to someone's neck, bro. Because
He's a devious nigga, like.
yeah, after rereading the beginning, like he was not like that at all, bro. He was like, yeah, I'm not with this pirate shit, bro.
Yeah,
But
he wasn't, but he still had the reputation that
he was a devious
He-
nigga. He just
he
wasn't
was-
with
he was
pirates. Yeah.
Yeah, like the way Kobe described him at the very beginning, he might as well have been a pirate because like he was saying like, oh, that's the demon hunter, so you don't want to get near him, Luffy. He'll kill you. Like, bruh, like he had that energy. He always will have that energy. Zoro's with the smoke all the way as the fucking vice commander of a fucking Yonko crew. Let's go.
Yo, that's fucking kidding.
I popped off. I was like, what did I say? What did I say about my nigga Luffy? What did I say? This is a Yonko crew. He's competing. He's competing with the Kaidos, with the Big Moms, with like all that. Like he's there. We there. Like stop playing with them.
100%.
You send heavy forces for my dude, or send no one. Like
let's go, bro.
Like straight up.
Absolutely real shit. Yeah, W chapter indeed. We won't break next week. But
sadly, yeah.
Unfortunately, but the Strawhat Sitdown will be here next week to give you guys some break week content. You know, I feel like there was something else I wanted to say, but I can't remember, so it couldn't have been that important. It is what it is. Thank you. We appreciate everybody that hung out with us today. Shout out to everybody that watched. Shout out to everybody in the Twitch chat. We appreciate you guys chopping it up with us. Big shout out to everybody that's listening on YouTube, Spotify Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Podbean, etc. We appreciate each and every one of you. Make sure you guys follow all the socials for the Strawhat Sitdown at Strawhat Sitdown on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, anywhere you can find content, you can find us. So make sure you find us and follow us. Greatly appreciate it. We on next week. Go on.
Our TikTok hit our last short hit over 6,000 views.
Hey, look at us go.
Nice.
That's hype.
We out here.
We are indeed out here. Make sure you guys follow us. You can stay up to date with all our cool shenanigans and antics. Yeah, back next week, but we will still be back next week with some more shenanigans. Until then, that's it. I think that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, and also for those newcomers, if you guys are getting into One Piece, check out the One Piece Run Back. It's another series we're doing to help catch everyone up. It won't be weekly, but you know, it'll be coming out periodically.
Yes. So if you are still catching up to One Piece, make sure you guys check out the YouTube channel and look for One Piece Run Back. So we will go over a lot of the older stuff and just catch up on the story that we all love so dearly.
Yes, sir.
All right, yeah, that's it. We appreciate you guys. Much love. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Till next time, take it easy, be safe, be healthy, and we will see y'all when we see y'all. Take it easy, guys. Peace.
Peace. Yonko Luffy, let's go.
Who gon' get down? We are. This that Strawhat Sitdown. We are. Who the crew with the fleet? We are. Who gon' piece that One Piece? We are. Who gon' get down? We are. This that Strawhat Sitdown. We are. Who the crew with the fleet? We are. Who gon' piece that One Piece? We are. Strawhat Sitdown crew in the building. We Corona to these other podcasts. We gon' put these people in their feelings when they hear this, and they know that they can't top this. We spit facts and we poppin' every time an episode is dropping. We see D3 in the corner, Mister, that's a real G with the green screen in the background. Got him looking like he in a real scene. We got Big Mod in the cut, always ready with rebuttals, but he bring the knowledge when we in the huddle, so you know the crew is never gonna fumble. And it's YHuss, last but not least. If you ask me, then Cali, Matt the captain, make him rally around me. Every Sunday we gon' run deep, and we can't stop until we find out about that One Piece. Who gon' get down? We are. This that Strawhat Sitdown. We are. Who the crew with the fleet? We are. Who gon' piece that one piece? We are. Who gon' get down? We are. This that Strawhat Sitdown. We are. Who the crew with the fleet? We are. Who gon' piece that one piece? We